welcome to Indian Icon Awards 2026, and on my right I have the Environment and Sustainability Leader of the Year 2026, Dr. Vikas Kikan. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure that this recognition has been given to me, and this is not only maybe given to me as an individual, but this is a symbol for all the people who are working for the environment and the very noble cause that they're trying to save the environment and creating some value out of it.
Totally. So how does it feel to, be the winner of this award, and who would you like to dedicate this award to today?
So whenever you get award, it really motivates you to do further more things, no doubt on it. And Indian Icon Award is one of the clear recognition that you're doing something, different from whatever people are doing.
Right.
So it's always motivating, and dedication is that, as I was telling, that it's to an individual now, but this motivates the other people who are already working in this arena, So it's dedicated to all of them who are working and who are giving their time out for, clearing the environment, working for the environment, and also sustainability is a very important thing. It should last for long, actually. That is very important.
Correct. Sustainability is what everybody is looking at these days, and we should take onus of that. So coming to that, what is that your organization, or you for that matter, what is that extra edge we do for this society or your industry for that matter?
See, I'm the CEO of a company called Beyond Drilling and Exploration Private Limited.
Oh.
We are the largest biomass pellet producer and seller in the country. What we do is we stop farmers to not burn parali. We take that parali from them and make solid fuel out of it.
Okay.
And we send this solid fuel to the thermal power plant, where they replace the fossil coal out of it, and then they'll produce the electricity from it. So this is what we're trying to do. Last year we have almost touched during around 1 million of parali, which we stopped to burn, and we converted into solid fuel and gave to the various around 15-16 thermal power plant across India.
That's again that's a noble cause, what you're doing. So one more question I would like to understand: was there any motivation? What was that came in your mind when you started your journey, of course, into this? And what is that keeps you going? What is the kick?
See, I'm basically for almost 3 decades I've been into the agriculture arena. I'm the agriculture machinery expert, and I was always with the farmers in the field. So being a Delhiite also, you could see that every year in October, November, there is a problem for 2 months where the crop residues more come to Delhi, and it's really become like a gas chamber. So I was a professional for many years in a multinational, and I quit my job to come to work in this arena, and I could go a little larger mile than other to arrest this problem of the parali burning by the farmers. And now I'm taking it to pan-India, because burning of parali is not only there in northern part. You will be surprised to know that the eastern part of India is burning much larger parali than northern part of India. But that smoke doesn't come to Delhi, so nobody is caring or discussing about it. But this problem is throughout India. So and good to tell you that government has brought some basic norms in it and laws where they are promoting people like me to make this crop residue convert into solid fuel and give to the various thermal power plants there in pan-India. So it's like around 600 thermal power plants in India, and if they put together burn 5% of this crop residue to produce electricity, it is like 50 million metric ton a year, which is a huge, this is not only the energy which was not used for many years, it is also resulting in that very much less quantity of fossil fuel burned. So it is also contributing to the net zero objective of the nation.
Totally.
So, and for many people, it may be a point of question that whether we'll get this 50 million metric ton of crop residue every year or not. So let me give them a little ease that India is having around 300 million metric ton excess crop residue every year. So it's a huge energy.
Yes.
And if we convert into fuel, the entire one, we will, at least we will stop some of the higher percentage of imports of fossil and other things. And it will certainly give an alternative income to the farmers because they are not using it, doing nothing out of it.
So how does a normal person or layman, how do we come to know about all this?
See, normally the people who are into the rural gentry, they are aware of it because they are into the nearby the farmers and the village and the farms. We urban people who are into main of city life are a little bit aware of it. But now since the social media is very effective, so we may come to know everything. And this is the issue which is not only bothering India. Environment issue is bothering the entire globally. The recent, if you see, the entire Europe is into the heat wave.
Yes.
The temperature reaching to 40-45 degrees, which has never happened. So it is not a problem for India; it's a problem worldwide. So what I suggest, everybody should be aware of it. How we could or what all things are there which can save the environment and sustainability. As I've been telling you, it should be a sustainable thing and what we are doing is really a sustainable matter, because I see that still human exists, there will be grains. Until there are grain, there is crop residue.
Yes.
So it's a long affair. Only thing is that you need to find a right way to convert it and use it in the right way to, burning it in a closed environment.
Very nicely said. Yes, sir. And I really like the approach. Interesting. Everybody should know about it because everybody is facing this challenge. Wonderful. So great having you here, sir, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.